Today's episode of The Mom Game is brought to you by our friends at Gateway Buick GMC at LBJ and Jupiter. I know that buying a car can be stressful, but not at Gateway Buick GMC. You know why? Because their slogan is, Gateway's got it. And just what does that mean? Well, it means that Gateway has a wide selection of Buicks, GMCs, and GM certified used vehicles, all competitively priced. Gateway's got it. In these busy times, you want a car dealer who makes things easy and convenient. Well, Gateway's got it. When you log into gatewaybuickgmc.com, look for the Shop, Click, Drive button. This allows you to shop from the comfort of your home, and who doesn't want that? In fact, it's easy as 1, 2, 3. 1, select your vehicle. 2, create your offer. And 3, schedule your delivery. On top of all this, Gateway Buick GMC offers complimentary car washes for life. And I know this because I just got one yesterday. So when you want a dealer who has it all, Gateway's got it. You can find them at LBJ and Jupiter or at gatewaybuickgmc.com. GMC, we are professional grade. Experience the new Buick. Hello, everybody, and welcome into episode 32 of The Mom Game. I'm Julie Dobbs with my co-host, Emily Jones. And check us out. Look, we have some new digs. It's a little bit of work in progress. It's still early. The shelves are.
You don't like my toys?
Well, I mean, they're getting filled. It's, there's an astronaut helmet, which is interesting.
You don't think that should be there?
I mean, it's.
Just to pull back the curtain a little bit, they have a new studio for us here at Vocal Studios. I think it's technically Studio B.
Yes.
If we want to say welcome to Studio B. And obviously it's like a total different vibe. It's a lounge setting. We're super excited. We both wore dresses. I don't know.
Not because of this.
I feel like I'm very unstable right now.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. But they said bring some stuff in, for the shelves. And so this morning I was like kind of running around my house like a mad woman thinking like, what can I bring? What do we talk about? Well, kids stuff, right? So I brought Ryder's astronaut helmet.
Okay, awesome.
You still don't approve, but that's fine. It's just kids stuff.
It is kids stuff.
And then his little Team Canada hockey jersey, the Dallas Stars hat. Do you like his trophy?
Yes, I mean, soccer trophy.
So I hadn't seen trophies like since, I don't know, the 90s when I was winning trophies because he's my first child.
Oh, when you were winning trophies.
Didn't we all? I mean, I'm not trying to brag.
I didn't.
You never won a trophy?
No, I didn't. I didn't play youth sports.
Okay, well, that's like a whole nother thing.
Yeah, I was jacked up as a child.
What do you mean? What do you mean you were jacked up as a child?
I didn't play any sports. I don't know.
Because you were jacked
weird
up?
Time. I don't know. I didn't ever really do that. I didn't get into stuff until like junior high. And then I tried out for cheerleader and that was it. This is a whole separate show.
It really is. Like, I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if I did, I blocked
So
it
you
out.
weren't, would you say you're athletic?
I would consider myself relatively athletic.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But you weren't as a kid, or you just weren't interested?
I don't really know why it didn't happen. Honestly.
Because you were jacked up.
Because I was jacked up. Yeah. Not jacked, but jacked up.
Right. You were jacked up.
Yeah.
Or if you were jacked, you'd be hitting home runs.
This is true.
Well, anyway, that is Ryder's first soccer trophy. That he got from his little 4-year-old team last year.
Basically,
isn't
Gumby.
it cute?
It's like a Gumby soccer ball.
It caught me off guard. I was like, well, trophies have changed. Like, this is Gumby soccer ball. There's no
bobblehead,
gold like figure. But I don't know. I mean, who pays for the trophies? I think that's the deal. Like, they don't have a bunch of money.
Right.
Like, I don't want to pay extra for a trophy.
Right.
And so they're doing the best they can. And the kid doesn't care.
Yeah.
I brought Jamie Benn bobblehead, Winter Classic Jamie Benn.
Awesome.
At that. There's Ryder's baby picture, so we could feel like we're at home. Or I could, at least.
Yeah, at least you could.
didn't bring anything.
I didn't bring anything. As you can tell, I didn't bring anything. There's no Rangers. There's no picture of my kids.
Right. Welcome to my shelf and my show and my partner for now,
so
Emily.
People who can't see, go check out on Twitter. We'll post something from the shelves so you'll know what we're talking about for those who don't only listen to us and don't watch.
They should be watching.
Also, you should know that in between us there is Batman, like literally.
Whoa!
Batman.
Do you think that's why they placed these together?
That is exact. Did you not hear Ted when he? Yeah,
no.
He was like, "Look, it's Batman."
That's awesome.
Yeah. So here we are. New
Batman
digs
and Bat.
New digs. Show 32. No guests, so we just get to we try to do alternate guests, like one guest 1 week, no guest 1 week, so we can catch up.
So we started a sports segment
Yeah,
on our
sports.
show, and we only did one.
Yeah.
Or two. We needed to get better at like consistency. So today we're gonna start off with a little sports, talk a little sports, set the scene a little bit in the Dallas DFW sports landscape right now. And the biggest thing, the Cowboys don't have Dak Prescott anymore.
Yeah, and that was brutal. You cried. Did you cry?
I cried.
Yeah. And I probably would have had I seen it. Henry was playing in a baseball tournament, and then all of a sudden you just started hearing it like trickle around. Did you hear about Dak Prescott? And of course I get on Twitter, and then I see the video, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It looked terrible.
It looked
and then
terrible.
You see him so emotional, and I mean, I've met him once or twice, but just if you just pay any attention,
Right.
he's a really kick-ass human
Right.
being. You know what I mean?
You can tell when there's not one person that has ever like even publicly said, let's throw Skip Bayless out of here. That fool doesn't count. But when you hear that nobody's ever said anything but wonderful things about him. And I thought that just the magnitude of that whole situation was huge. Like if you see an injury like that, anytime watching an NFL game on a Sunday, everybody's going to be talking about it because there's like essentially like a bone potentially sticking out, an ankle going the wrong way. But when it happens to the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, I feel like just the sports world kind of stopped down. For a little bit in that day.
And then just what he's been through this year, what he's been through in his life, just how much he shared of his story, and then the contract, all those things you start going through your mind. And for him, and then you just see him leave the field the way that he did.
Anytime a grown man cries, anytime.
Yeah, no, it's a real thing for sure.
I can't handle it.
Yeah.
You don't see grown men crying very often.
And I heard a bunch of dudes say they cried too.
Yeah.
Like they sports cried on their couch.
Right.
Like not ashamed of it.
And someone said to me, because I said on Twitter, I was like, well, I didn't plan to sports cry today. I was just sitting down to watch some football, which, by the way, I was so excited about. Like Anna was sleeping, Ryder was down the street, and Kelly and I kind of looked at each other. We were like, can we like lay? Like he laid on this couch and I laid on this couch, and we just like, he cooked sausage and grilled, and it was like we used to, like what we used to do before kids. And then of course, like one of them wakes up, the other runs in, shit hits the fan, and I'm like, what happened in the game? I didn't see the rest of it. But we were actually sitting down, like relaxing, able to watch that game, and I didn't plan at all to have any tears, but it was just, you could see all of the emotions just pouring out of him for everything that he had gone through. And then the team, everybody coming together, Jason Garrett coming over because he was in town with the Giants. And then Tony Romo calling the game. Like the whole thing was so surreal.
Yeah.
Like all of Cowboys past and present coming together to watch the current Cowboys quarterback like essentially collapse into this, have this gruesome injury. So the good news is, you know, they're saying 4 to 6 months he should be back. Yeah. Jerry Jones was saying for spring football next season, ahead of next season, they're hoping that he'll be back. And when you saw that injury, it looked like it could have even been worse than that.
Yeah.
So,
and you know, and you look at guys and their makeup and their character and the way they're wired, and if anyone can sustain and come back from something like that, you've got to think that he's got the intestinal fortitude to you know, tough this out.
You feel like football is life. Like football is his life. You know, and I think that's why he was crying so hard, is because he was just feeling like his life was crashing down before him. But because football is life, you know he's going to be working his ass off to get back as quick as he can. So that's good. But that was definitely like just that rocked the sports world here in town. Everybody was talking about it.
Okay, so on changing notes a little bit different, I wonder if you had any sort of emotion for Jose Altuve so far in these playoffs, having committed, I think, 4 errors. Yes. The shortstop for
for the Astros.
Yes, for the second base shortstop. Why am I losing my second base? What am I thinking? Second base for the Astros. He's got the yips. Like it's insane. And there are people, you know, some people are in. I don't know how I feel about it. Like, because I can't stand the Astros, and then I can't stand the Astros even more because of the cheating scandal. Right. But I will say, Jose Altuve is a really good dude. He was.
But wasn't he kind of front and center with the cheating scandal? Like,
well, he kept quiet. Yeah. There was people who said he, you know, kind of didn't want to any part of it whatever.
Was he the one that had something like taped to right?
Yeah,
Clarify
there was that. Yeah,
okay,
there
that's
was
what I
that.
thought.
That stuff.
That's
taped
why
to
I
him.
feel like he was front and center because everyone was
think
like,
that was-
he's literally like wearing something that like
Yeah, and I
lets
think,
him know.
I think that
what
was,
the pitches are going to be.
I think that was debunked. I don't.
Was
think that
it?
why? Yeah.
Why didn't he take his shirt off?
The trash can?
It was like that. That's what,
I don't know. Who
that's
knows?
what got me.
Either way. Outside of a
Okay.
cheating scandal, Jose
Yeah.
Altuve is a really good dude. I've always admired his work ethic. I've always thought he was a really great player. But you know, your viewpoints of people on the field change when something like that comes out.
Right.
And so I'm curious. It seems like, there's some people like, oh, I feel so bad for Jose Altuve. He's a really good dude, blah, blah, blah. And then there's other people that are like, F that. I don't care what happens.
Like probably the majority.
I love to see them lose at blah, blah, blah. And I guess for me, I don't mind I love seeing the Astros lose all day, every day. But I don't know, like when it's a guy like that, I don't know that I don't, like find joy in his personal failure. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense. I like two things though. Like he's not the only reason they're losing right now and down in a 3-0 hole, right? Like it can't. He's not helping the situation.
Right. But like if it were someone who's been like super cocky about, like Carlos Correa has been really outspoken. Alex Bregman's been really outspoken. Like there's some guys on that team that have been like, oh, y'all don't want us here, but here we are.
Right.
Now what do you think?
Oh, I know.
You know
like,
what I
oh
mean?
God.
So it's like,
it was like,
if it was one of those guys, maybe I would view it differently. I don't know. And I know there's going to be some people who are like, and I don't necessarily feel sorry for him, but I guess I'm just not taking as much joy in his failure.
No, I know exactly what you're saying.
You know?
The yips, do you think it's the yips? I mean,
there's hardly another explanation.
Right.
And he's missing throws. I mean, you're talking about an all-star. You're talking about, before the
Gold Glove,
he's
everything.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
MVP, candidate.
It could just be nerves. I don't know. Or like, anxiety coming out.
He hasn't been good all year, but he hasn't been like this.
Right.
I mean, you're talking about he had no errors in the regular season, and now he's got 4.
Right.
And so you wonder if this has eaten him up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's just like coming to a head.
Yeah. I don't know.
How's he hitting?
Explain it.
I mean,
not good.
I guess not good either.
No.
But I feel like maybe that might be more of a fielding thing, the yips in general. But the yips in general is just so weird.
Such a weird phenomenon.
It's so weird. And I mentioned it today on the radio, and the guys were like, what? But when I worked for the Cowboys in 2007, that 2008 season, Nick Folk, like he was the kicker then. And he was so good. Like he came out of the gates just like making, I think they said he missed 7 kicks in his career, and then all of a sudden he missed like 13 of 15, and then the last one he missed was like a 24-yarder, and they finally let him go.
Yeah.
And I feel like that stuck out to me just like because I was working for the team and just like, this guy's rock solid. They finally found their kicker that's going to be there for a long time, and that's always a position they were trying to figure out, and then all of a sudden it was gone. And then he's missing like a 24-yard field goal, and then he's out of the league for a little while, found his way back in. But how does that happen, you know? And the yips in general, it just is something that's weird to me. I get pressure.
Yeah.
Like, because I'll be serving. I mean, my ladies tennis is nothing like the NFL or the MLB, but like I can have a really good serve, then all of a sudden the pressure hits and I just like start choking and can't serve, you know, something like that. But maybe it's that just magnified. But
yeah, I don't understand it. I don't understand the concept of the yips. I don't understand how it happens or why it happens and how you get out of it. But they're on the verge of elimination now, and by the time this hits, they could be eliminated. So we'll see what happens.
I think I would say I'm glad, hopefully, that they're getting eliminated right now because I don't want to see them advance any further. I don't want to see them go to the World Series. But you do feel for him.
Yeah,
especially if you're saying, because I trust you, that he's a good guy.
Yeah,
you don't want it to all fall on somebody's shoulders when the whole cheating scandal was the whole organization. Yeah, right. And so you hate for him to kind of like be the butt of it right now.
Right.
But I don't know, anything else? Oh, I wanted to ask you, because we've talked about this too on the radio, like, are you going to any of these NLCS games? I'm sure you had the opportunity. Do you feel like it'd be weird to be there? Because these games are going on in Arlington.
I know, and somebody was like, oh, are you going to the World Series? I was like, I have no desire. I have zero desire. Not because of the crowds, not because I'm just like, I don't need to go, you know, I've been to our ballpark now, I've seen it, I love it. I don't want to go there and watch other teams play.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Feels icky.
Not even icky. I just don't. I just don't have any desire to do it.
Right.
And I don't, it looks from, like on television, it looks like they've got it dialed in as far as how they're seating people and all that kind of stuff. It looks, from all accounts that I've heard, it's been that people there feel really safe and they feel like their, proper precautions are being taken and all that kind of stuff. I just don't have any desire to watch two other teams play.
No, I hear you on that. I do really miss going to live sporting events.
Yes.
I really miss it. And I've seen like just some, clips of people being at that game and think like, oh, that might be kind of fun just to sit in the ballpark and like have some space on a beautiful night with the roof open. But then you're sitting there and you're also reminded of like everything going on. You have to wear a mask the whole time. And not to like be political or anything, but I cannot do that. I don't think I can sit there with a mask on for like 3 hours or however long. That's why I wouldn't want to go to a Cowboy game right now. Like you want to enjoy it if you're at a sporting event, and I don't want to be like stressed out about someone like coming and getting mad at me for taking my mask off to drink a beer or forgetting to put it back on or whatever.
Right.
So I don't think that I would probably want to go either, but geez, I hope that things can get back to normal. Like for next season and everything. That leads us to, I have to pull this up on my phone here. Some of the new guidelines for Halloween, Emily. So I want to know how you feel about this. We're going to shift gears.
Okay. Oh, we're coming for me with Halloween.
Mom talk.
Here we go.
Mom talk. So Halloween coming soon, later this month.
Oh, gosh. Here we go.
Well, I didn't know if you had seen this. So we've talked about it and joked about it here on the show. And I love it. I love Halloween. I love it for me. I love it especially for little kids now that I'm a mom. And I know you don't love it that much, but the CDC has now said, so this is like official, they've issued new guidelines on how to celebrate Halloween safely.
Do tell.
Classic door-to-door trick-or-treating and crowded boozy costume parties, not recommended.
Okay.
The higher risk category includes door-to-door trick-or-treating and events where kids get treats from the trunks of cars, like the trunk or treats.
Right.
They're saying we can't even really do that. No-nos. Indoor haunted houses. Do you like haunted?
No.
Where people will be crowded and screaming. Because if you're screaming,
I can
all
see
that like shit's coming out of your mouth when that Frankenstein or whoever jumps out in front of you. Hay rides, not recommended.
Okay, and on that.
Yeah, and then of course, I like this part. And using alcohol and drugs, quote, can cloud judgment and increase risky behaviors.
Okay.
Just in general. So basically, like, Halloween's canceled.
Yeah, Halloween's dead.
According to them.
Right. But my whole deal is I don't see the problem with putting a bowl of candy out on your doorstep and just letting the kids run around in their costumes. And listen, I know I sound like a total Halloween hater, and I don't love that. The reason I hate it is because previously there's been 10 things to wear that damn costume to.
Yeah.
That it gets all ratty and nasty and disgusting, and you got to wear it here and you got to schlep it there, and then they're hot and complaining and all that kind of stuff that I'm just like, can we just have one? And I think that's what's going to happen this year. There's going to be one day.
Okay,
There's
so this
one
could be
Halloween,
perfect for you.
It's going to be perfect. We have one day. We have one Halloween.
Yeah.
We don't have a neighborhood party, then trick-or-treating the next day, whatever. It's one day. One shot. You got one shot to wear your costume. You got one shot to get some candy, and then let's put this to bed.
Make it worth it.
And then let's get on to Thanksgiving. Like,
right.
That's my whole deal.
Maybe I'll be there when my kids are a little older.
Yes,
like when
you might.
Because I mean,
when they have a fall festival and they have it at school, and then there's a storybook, but they're wearing it 800 times.
So what?
There's one Halloween. It's not Hanukkah. There's not a bunch of days of stuff. It's just one day.
So you want one day, and then all the other days just boring, regular old days in October.
That's why it's a holiday.
We have too many of those already. I love anything that like gets people excited, and you can dress up. Kids get excited, even if it's not October 31st, like if it's October 20th, I still think that we can have some fun. I will say, I think that we made a mistake. Ryder has been like, he gets so excited. All year long he's trying to plan his costume. Right. And then he plans for next year too. When he can't decide, he's like, well, I'll do this one next year. And I'm like, okay, I'll remind you of that. And so he's like, he really wanted to go. He was begging us like every day, can I go to Costco and get a costume? Can I go to Costco and get a costume? Because that's where he got it last year. So I think he thinks that's like the Halloween costume mecca, like all the land is at Costco.
It's amazing. And they've had theirs out since Valentine's Day.
Yes,
yes. Which is awesome.
They have. So he was wanting to go there to get his costume. And Kelly eventually like caved and took him, and then they came home with one for Anna too. That like was kind of just a surprise. I guess she had told him she wanted to be a unicorn, so Ryder found her a unicorn.
Awesome.
So now we have them, but it's like a month.
Oh yeah.
And we don't really have events because they're all canceled.
Yeah.
And so now it's just the battle of like getting the costume out every day after school. They want to like run around all over the street in their costume, and it just becomes like a costume month.
Which is exactly what I'm saying.
I know, but we got them too early.
Yeah.
And if we had events to wear them to, then I would say no, save it for this event.
Yeah.
But I just don't have anything. I'm like, save it for.
I know. All bets are off.
I don't
just
know.
let them sleep in it and wear it to school. Who cares?
Yeah.
All the time.
I think my streets where we all like play together and know each other and are basically like family anyway. And our kids are small enough that they don't know the difference. So I think just like a few of our houses are gonna do like trick or treating. So we can still have Halloween. I'm going to celebrate it as much as I can.
Good for you.
Up until this point.
Good for you.
Yes.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It is also Halloween. I prefer to talk about Halloween.
I know.
But Breast Cancer Awareness Month is something that is very serious.
And our friends at Baylor Scott and White have a really cool event.
Yes.
That I know you want to promote a little bit.
Right. And just like as a personal aside, I think it was 7 years ago, October, when I had just recently been diagnosed with breast cancer when I was 28 years old. It was late September, and then October I started. It was Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I was like, holy shit, I'm aware. I've got it.
Here we go.
I've got it. I just like started chemo and everything, all hands on deck, and obviously everything's been good since that point, but I'm so happy to bring on Baylor Scott and White to be one of our sponsors, and they wanted us to tell everybody, which I can totally get behind this event, and I hope you do it too. It's called How Well Do You Know Your Lemons?
How well do you know? I don't. I mean, I feel like I know mine okay, but maybe there's some things I don't know about.
I'm just getting to know mine. They're fairly new.
That's true.
So they're going to have a free virtual breast cancer awareness event called Know Your Lemons, hosted by Baylor Scott and White Fort Worth. They're going to have an expert panel of doctors that will be there virtually to basically tell you everything that you need to know, the signs, the symptoms, the screening techniques to make sure that you're always feeling your best. I imagine there's like some sort of Q&A. So if something's like on your mind, you can legit just sit there and ask a doctor, like an expert, hey, what's this? Like, or why am I feeling this bump, or should I come in and see a doctor because of X, Y, or Z? Because that's one of the biggest things with breast cancer, I think, is just not knowing what to even be looking for.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're doing this and that they are putting trust in us to help spread the word, I'm super happy about all of this. And just some breast cancer facts, of course, every year more than 1 million people diagnosed with cancer. If you're faced with a cancer diagnosis, their comprehensive cancer care services and team of oncologists on their medical staff at Baylor Scott and White Fort Worth, Joan Katz Cancer Resource Center is exactly what it's called. They can give you the tools that you need to fight back. The Joan Katz Cancer Resource Center provides support to men and women, so we're talking all cancers here, not just breast cancer, who have been diagnosed with cancer regardless of where they're receiving treatment or direct medical services, completely free of charge for most services. The center guides these patients from the point of diagnosis to survivorship. So the day that you say I have cancer till you're in the, like, out of the woods and you're in the clear, like me, they will guide you through all of that, offering education, support, and resources to help patients survive and thrive.
And I've been to that Joan Katz Center. It's
you
amazing.
have?
Yeah.
I haven't.
It's over in my hood.
It is.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's such a great resource
Yeah.
for people. So tell us how we can become a part of the virtual event.
So I think that they're going to put a graphic up on our show here
good.
that says, but it's going to be Tuesday, October 27th at 5:30.
Okay.
And there's a place to RSVP and then just like a website that you'll go to for this event. So know your lemons, everybody.
Know your lemons. Thanks to Baylor Scott and White for jumping on board.
Yeah.
Providing a great resource for our community, and they've been being a good partner to us.
Yes, we are so thankful to have them.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you about something.
Oh, yeah.
I know you had a mom's mom's night, but it wasn't like your bestie's mom's night. It's like so
I was thinking we needed to break mom's nights
it down.
down.
Okay, yeah.
Break this down a little bit. Because so when you become a mom and you're older and you're busy, I feel like you only have time for like certain things and certain people,
Right.
and you kind of cut out like the fluff. Your friend group might go from like 20 to 7, you know, and you just have like this really core group of moms or friends that you make time for, you know, but then you also want to get to know like the moms of your kids or kids' friends and their class and their soccer team or whatever, because you're going to be around those moms a lot
Right.
too. So you've got like your true friends, and then you've got this like mom friend group that's maybe like always
It's
developing.
Usually driven by your kids.
Driven by your kids, yes. And so like
it's the kid-driven friend group.
It's the kid-driven friend group. And I don't know if you're like this, but whenever like I get in a group of those types of mom friends, I'm kind of like, yes, no, yes, no. Okay, she could be my friend, you know?
Right.
Like you just want to find someone that you connect with. And so anyway, Anna's little class, there's only 10 people in her class, or 11 people in her class this year, because it's like half the size of usual. We had a mom's wine night. And I just feel like these things, like, I love them. I do. I want to go. I want to meet the moms. But it's always like, for me, Emily, it's like, because I'm like a spaz, and I'm kind of crazy, and I drink a lot. So you go to these things and you're like, how much do I reveal of my true self? It's like an onion, and like you can only peel off one layer like every maybe month.
But I feel like
you try not to let all your crazy show on night one.
Right. But I feel like it's like hour one in those things. It's kind of like everybody's just kind of sipping.
Yes.
And then depending on your group, like the second hour, like everybody starts, really loosening
it's
up.
So true.
And I mean, it's like, it really is.
Yes.
And then you see, certain things. And then the best is like when you see them the next time.
Yeah.
And then you're like, kind of look at each other a little differently. Like, oh, we kind of got turned up the other night.
Right, we did. Like, you wonder what they like went home and told their husband,
right.
If they want to do it again. So like, I felt like I had a really wonderful mom's night group.
Right.
And you're right, because at first, this is all I was like thinking about that night. It's like, you're like this, mom's night, get a little, have another glass of wine, maybe like drink some liquor, woo! And everyone's like freaking like obsessed with each other. And then it's like, we can't wait to like exchange numbers and like, let's plan a play date. Let's plan another mom's wine night. And I was excited. Like,
this was such a success. I didn't know what you were doing with the typing fingers at
For
first.
some reason, like that night, I was just thinking about like a little like, that's just how us moms and chicks are. We're so weird. We're like, ooh, we're all prim and proper. Like, oh yes, I'm Julie. I'm Anna and Ryder's mom. And then by the end, I'm like, all right, you're fucking cool. Like, let's hang out again. Like, I feel like we totally did that.
Oh, it's so true.
So it was fun. But I feel like just as a mom, you're always thrown into these situations, and you're like,
well, too,
I'm really always trying to behave.
Right, I know. Do you ever kind of hold back or pull back because of your job?
I should.
Because I feel like I've gotten in bigger social settings. Like I'll talk to anybody on this podcast about anything. But like when I'm in an actual like social setting, my guard's pretty up. Like I'm not, and not even that I'm not being myself, but I don't know. I am a little different until I can kind of loosen up, or if I'm in a smaller setting. I don't know. I developed over the years, I've developed a little bit of social anxiety. Yeah. Which is when I tell people that, they're like, what? And I'm like, for real. Like, I don't mind telling you anything. I'll answer any question under the sun on here, and knowing that millions, I mean, we can dream, can't we?
1 million.
1 million people will hear this. But I don't care. But it's just being in those social...
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? To where you feel like you're a little guarded.
Yeah.
And so that... I mean, listen, the guard is small and it's short, and it can be easily knocked down.
Well, that's probably the right way to be. Like, we don't need to go
by
around.
a couple glasses of wine.
Right.
It doesn't take much to knock it down.
I know. And I think we're all so tired. Like, all moms are so tired.
Exhausted.
So, like, you get 1 or 2 glasses of wine in, and it's just like, you start just like...
Well, then it's like...
You're just feeling loose and free.
You're either going to have a third, or you're going to pass out.
We had a third. Yeah, I had a third at this particular, just a third, cut it off at the third, but they were like pretty heavy pours. I didn't have a giant dinner that night. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And I think our jobs are maybe a little different, because what I am dealing with is, like, my job is I'm talking about all kinds of ridiculous things, because I feel like I'm talking to just my friends, but then like a lot of people are listening.
Right.
Your job is much more professional, I will say. So I could see where like when you see somebody, you don't want to just go all the way crossover into that side of the spectrum.
Right.
When I see people now, it's like I act normal, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, I heard you on the ticket." And I'm like, "Oh shit!" Like now I can be myself because they know me.
Right.
Like they've heard.
Right. That's so funny that you say that. Mike and I recorded a video at church. We're doing a fundraising campaign or something, and they asked us to do a video or whatever, so we did. Talking about being whatever. So they're wanting to mic us up, and I wore a shirt that didn't have something, and I said. They're like, oh, you'll have to, this isn't going to work. We may have to put a headset on you. And I was like, no, I don't want to wear a headset. And I was like, I'll just stick it up my shirt. I have enough cleavage up there to where it'll... And in the church, and the woman coordinating, bless her heart, she was like, oh, and they're all just like, oh my God. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I'm saying there's enough space in there. I can just put it underneath my bra and we're good to go. Like,
I'll totally prop it up with my cleave.
I was like, well, no, not even that. I was like, there's enough of a valley to where I can stick it under there, and they're like, but your blouse is going to hit it. I'm like, no, my blouse is going to hit it because it's in
a valley.
It's in the valley. I'll just stick it under my bra in the middle.
Right.
And it's in the valley, and it's protected by the mountains. There's nothing.
What else do you do with this valley? Like, do you put other things in your valley?
They're not smushed together. Whoa!
Not like that. Like snacks.
Snacks. What the fuck's wrong with you? Snacks.
Well, you have this whole thing figured out, a valley in the mountain.
Well, I've been doing TV for a long time, and you have to find ways to improvise when you don't have a place to put the mic. And so I put it in the valley, and the mountain's protected.
Okay, so what did they think of all of that?
They didn't know what to say. They just were like, oh, and Nancy, the sweet woman who sets up everything, all this kind of stuff for the church, and she just was like, well, of course my husband's just like shaking his head.
Oh
like,
God.
Here she is.
My husband
pride and joy.
My husband has the head shake too.
All the time.
He just doesn't listen.
Well, I mean,
Kelly will just block me out.
I know, but I was just being honest. I mean, it's not
right, and we're all trying.
It really wasn't even cleavage. It was the valley,
and you're trying to help. Like we're trying to get to the same goal.
Trying to get this done. Let's go. Yeah, we got it.
I feel like we're like just at a point in life. Like we've been through a lot of shit. Like I'm just real. Like I'm sorry.
Jack around.
Exactly.
I don't have time for a headset. I don't have time to go to the bathroom. I'm going to stick this thing up there, slap it in the valley, and the mountains are going to protect it.
That's like my new favorite thing. The valley. Yeah. I don't have as big of a valley as you.
Well, we all have different landscapes. We all have different landscape. That's what I'm working with.
Oh my God. Okay. Wow.
Well, yeah. So there's.
Okay. So speaking of landscapes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got some landscape.
Yes. Let's talk about that.
So
your landscape. You get some landscaping done.
Some landscaping done on my midsection again. So I went to Cutting Edge Cryo again. They're another one of our great partners, and so people ask me a lot. They think it's just the cryo machine where it makes you cold. It's not. Mm-hmm. It's like the sonogram machine.
Yep.
And they put this jelly-ish stuff on there, and then it literally blasts. They pinpoint areas, and it freezes
freaking
fat cells.
Amazing.
Yeah. So I've done 6 or 7 treatments on my belly, and I'm super happy. I've posted pictures on my Instagram because I have no shame left. Right. And because I feel like it works, like you hear talk about it, and I'm like, I don't want people to think I'm bullshitting. Like I'm actually doing it. Yeah. It actually works, and here's my whatever. And that's kind of how we work our whole sponsorship thing.
Right.
It's like
we don't have time for like lying about
bullshit.
stuff.
No, hell no.
We don't have time for paying for something that's not going to work.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so I've loved it, and then now I'm starting the facials. So this is supposed to help with. I feel like I have a super wrinkled neck. I feel like it's from like looking at my phone on my computer.
Yeah.
So it's
I
like
never thought about that.
Cold facials, and I've done one, and it feels so good. And then I'm going to go back for another. So I'm going to do like 5 or 6 treatments of the facials. And so I'll let you know how.
So is it like a tool?
No, it's the same thing. Same thing all over your face, but it's not like freezing fat cells, obviously. Right. But it's whatever. They put it on a different setting.
And you just felt like it just made you...
It was awesome. I loved it.
Looked a lot
Yeah, I mean, you just feel
clean.
right. Yeah, think about those ice rollers.
Yeah.
You know, that you put in the freezer. I mean, it's like that, but like jacked up, totally.
On my list.
Way better.
Yeah. On my list.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have a big reveal about
It's not the valley or the mountains.
not the valley or the mountains. What would you call lips on your landscape?
I don't know. I'll have to have time to think about that.
So we, I guess it was a couple of months ago, we went into Mix Blend Bar. It's MYX Blend Bar in West Village.
Yeah.
And they set us up with our very own lip colors that I have worn on every single episode of the Mom Game.
And I wear mine almost every day.
Yes.
When I put on lip gloss.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is so show your shade. So we have a lip gloss and a lipstick. So this is our lipstick together.
Yes.
So what they do is they tell you, you go through this whole thing and you
they make it for you.
They make it for you.
You tell them what color you're looking for, what scent you want.
All that kind of stuff. So this is ours. It says the Mom Game on the bottom. This is our lipstick. And then we each got to do a lip gloss of our own. And so that's really, like, put ours up together to see which one. See how they're different.
But these are like our more kind of natural that you can wear all the time, every day. Yeah. Mine's called Jules, the Mom Game. It's probably just a little bit like darker than yours.
Yeah,
but
mine's a little lighter.
And then the Mom Game lipstick is very similar to my lip gloss, but it's a little bit darker as well.
And you're wearing both of them right now.
Yeah.
Same.
Just the lipstick right now, but I wear it like every day. So the big news is that these are for sale. You can buy our colors.
Yes. You can buy EJ, the Mom Game lipstick, lip gloss, or Jules, the Mom Game lip gloss, and then the lipstick is the same for both of us.
Yes, and so we will be posting pictures of all of these and us wearing them so you can see that, and then links on where you can go if you want to buy your own so you can have lips like us and we can have matching landscapes.
Matching landscapes?
Face landscapes.
Just face landscapes.
Just face landscapes.
Yeah, we need to think of, I don't know what
I don't know, but you've been doing like all the face landscapes this week.
Listen, this landscape needs all the maintenance. Just trying to maintain my landscape.
Maybe the whole body's like a mural.
That's it. Yes, it's all landscape.
Yes.
I'm just trying to keep it all up.
I hear ya.
Upright and intact.
I hear ya.
Yeah. So that's where we are.
Yeah, I think that's all the stuff we've got to pimp out today. And then Dana Larson's joining us on the next show, right? I'm so excited about that. I feel like when we kicked off and we started, we wanted some of the big name athlete guests. You helped get Adrian Beltre, which was amazing. We had Tyler Sagan, we had Kari Lettinen, then we had some big name ticket people like Mike Reiner. And now I feel like we're getting into a groove where we're I'm wanting to bring on women, I'm wanting to bring on moms, I'm wanting to bring on people who have found success one way or another in life, career-wise, all of that, just to kind of talk about all of it and just have some real mom talk. Yeah. And so that's what I loved about Meredith, and I know it's going to be so fun with Dana too. And this is the mom portion of our guest list, I guess you could say.
We're always going to be that mix of sports and parenthood.
Yes.
But yeah, I think it's fun to kind of get to know these people, on a different level, just like we did with, everyone else with, we saw that different side of Tyler with his girlfriend, and we saw the different side of Meredith, and we see, all prim and proper on the, 6 o'clock news. And so I think that's what we want to see is kind of pull back the curtain a little bit and get to know these people.
Yes.
A little bit better.
Yep.
And so hopefully, I know, hopefully Dana will let loose a little bit. We'll bring in some wine.
Yeah. Will she go 3 glasses?
She will definitely not go 3 glasses. I know her. She's one. If she goes 2, I'll be shocked.
Okay, yeah. I won't go 3 either.
Once the camera stops,
I don't want to scare her away. But I love Dana. Obviously, worked for her a long time too, and I haven't seen her in forever.
Yeah.
So
it'll be good to catch
It'll
up.
be fun.
We'll be back in the lounge.
Yeah, we're gonna be lounging.
Anyone has any suggestions for our?
Yeah, maybe you could contribute next time.
Maybe I could.
And then you won't be able to complain.
You're right. I shouldn't. I'm not complaining. I'm just observing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't bring shit to the table. So you're right.
You didn't bring shit to the shelf.
You know what? Your stuff, I didn't bring shit to the shelf. So your shit's way more awesome than mine.
I think I can leave the astronaut helmet. I know you love that, so I'm going to leave that for next week.
Thank you.
I probably have to bring Ryder's trophy back.
Yeah.
We could probably leave Jamie Ben here for a while. I've got lots of those bobbleheads. Yeah. They all lose heads at my house, so they're safer here.
I know.
Because what's a bobblehead without a head?
That's true. It's just a bobble.
It's just a bobble.
Okay.
Just a landscape.
We made it through another episode.
We did.
If you've made it this far with us, God bless you.
God bless you.
God bless you and your landscape.
And your landscape. Check us out on all our social media channels
Yep.
because we've kind of been killing it there.
Yeah, not because of us.
Not because of us. We have a new friend. I mean, it's a team.
Yes.
It's a team
He's
thing.
doing a lot.
He's
but
doing a lot. Yeah.
Adam Hernandez slaying it for us.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll have to
doing
have
so
him on the
awesome.
show one time.
Oh, for
Just
sure.
Talk about dad stuff.
And to
'Cause
talk
he's
about
funny.
why on earth would he decide to do this for us?
Right. What's wrong
Because
with
he's really
him?
cool. So yeah, social media at what is it? At the Mom Game Pod on
Yeah.
Twitter, at the Mom Game Pod on Instagram and on Facebook. We're streamlined now.
Yep.
So reach out to us. We've loved interacting with everyone. As we say all the time, we want to create this community, and we feel like we're starting to build that. And we're grateful that you guys are along for the ride.
Yes.
And that's gonna do it for this time. God bless you and your landscape.
Take care of your landscape this week. See you soon.
Mom Game out.
Peace out.